Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. I would like to give a special thanks to Mercedes-Benz of Cutler Bay for providing with the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. If you're in the market for a Mercedes, you can come check out Mercedes-Benz of Cutler Bay and ask for Lewis. He will get you into a new or pre-owned vehicle. But let's talk about the S-Class here. For 2021, Mercedes-Benz has made this car 2 inches wider compared to the previous generation of S-Class. And I love the black exterior paint with the chrome accents here. I'm not a big fan of chrome, but it looks really good here on the S-Class. I love the long hood and the aggressive stance that this car has. But looking at these headlights here, they're going to be a LED projector headlight with an automatic low and high beam. They actually swivel. There's an LED turn signal and LED daytime running light. Looking at this large grille here, that's also for the driver's assistance here. There's a front-facing camera, and this is the only car to get this 3-pointed ornament here on the actual hood. There it goes again, which looks really nice. So that lets you know that you're driving something extremely special here. There's also front parking sensors. But looking at the side profile, the wheelbase here for the S-Class is at 126.9 inches with an overall length of 206.8. And all S-Class are going to be the long wheelbase version. If you guys want something longer, Mercedes-Benz will sell you a Maybach version, which is around 8 to 10 inches longer compared to this S-Class here. But looking at these tires and wheels here, these are a 255/45 Bridgestone tire. They're wrapped in this 19-inch rim design. I love the multi-spoke design here. That's also the Mercedes-Benz brake calipers there. The rotors are freaking large. They're cross-drilled and ventilated. There's more of that chrome accent here at the lower part of the door panel. And this car will raise about 3.2 inches if it senses that it's going to be an accident. And my model also has the four-wheel steering, so basically the rear wheels will turn around 10 degrees. So this thing does have really good turning radius here. There's this LED sight marker here on the mirror cap, and it also comes with this large panoramic sunroof. And as you guys can see here, the doors are actually pushed inside the vehicle, and Mercedes says they tested these door handles and so they would never fail even in hot or cold temperatures. The door handles will pop out, so it's really nice. We're going to take a glance at the interior really quick. My model does have this black interior. We'll talk about the interior very shortly, but closing the door back here and making our way to the rear of the S-Class, looking at these taillights here, I love the way these taillights look. It look like mini Empire State Buildings. They're full LED design, which is turn signal, brake light, and reverse light. That's the S580 badge to signify that you have the V8 underneath the hood. You can also get this with a 3-liter inline 6. There's the 3-pointed Mercedes emblem there again with the 4MATIC. The 4MATIC does come standard on all S-Class. There's more of that nice chrome trim here at the rear of the vehicle. There's rear parking sensors, and my model also has dual tip exhaust. But open up the cargo bag here, Mercedes makes it pretty easy. They hide the trunk release underneath the 3-pointed Mercedes emblem. And this also has a power opening trunk. As you guys can see, Mercedes says you get around 19.6 cubic feet of space back here in the cargo area. And unfortunately, you cannot fold the seats down and do a 60-40 split, but there is a pass-through so you can put items through the trunk here. And lifting this up, it does reveal some underfloor storage. And there is some storage off to the side here also with this 12-volt. But overall, let's hop into the interior of the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. Sitting inside the interior of the Mercedes-Benz S-Class, looking at this interior here, of course you guys know Mercedes can do a really nice interior, and I wouldn't expect nothing less here from the S-Class. I love the materials in here. We'll talk about the materials in a few seconds. I love these two large screens here. This is a 12-inch OLED screen, and this is a 12.3-inch digital display here, so you can customize both of these screens. We'll talk about that in a few seconds. But reaching over here to shut the door of the S-Class, you can slam the door if you would like. Or you can go just like this, because my model does come with soft closing doors, which is a nice touch as well. But to start up the S-Class, of course, you guys know, put your foot on the brake and press the start-stop button right here on the dash. And my model also has that EQ boost, so basically you will not hear that V8 start up initially. But looking here at the door panel materials, nice leather materials. I love the stitching. This ambient lighting in here is very bright. You can see it in broad daylight. The headlight controls are here. This is the first production car to actually have headlights here on the actual door panel. There's 3-person memory seats. There's also 3-level heated and cooled seats. And there's your seating controls here. Me personally, I'm not a big fan here of the touch sensitive buttons or this touch sensitive panel. I wish Mercedes would have went with the hard button, because you have to kind of put a lot of pressure in order to move the seat forward and back. The switch gear in here feels really nice, and my model does have adaptive suspension, so this car will lower and raise itself, and you can power fold the mirrors in via this touch panel over here. Nice aluminum trim and whatnot. Really nice cabin here. Nice pad area here. I love the diamond quilted stitching on the door panel, and you can also get different color combinations just in case you guys don't like this black interior. This also has this metal speaker cover here for the Burmester sound system. There's a trunk release button down there, and it's also lined with felt in the actual door pocket here, and cup holder space, electronic parking brake. There's the air vents here. The dash, nice leather dash here. Like I mentioned, this is a 12.3-inch digital display. Using this touch sensitive area here, you can customize it to show you your radio settings, also attention level, and your eco display. So you can customize the screen really good. You can also change the gauges out. As you guys can see on the full tank of gas, I got 357 miles until empty. So this thing is very thirsty. It's a V8, but it does get really good gas mileage on the highway. There's paddle shifters here to cycle through that 9-speed automatic transmission. I'm not a big fan of the high gloss wood trim here on the actual steering wheel. It's gonna be nice and leather wrapped here. All these buttons here, as you guys see on the steering wheel, are touch sensitive. I wish Mercedes would have went with a hard button. There's a 3-pointed Mercedes emblem here on the airbag cover. And I love this steering wheel design. It looks very nice here. Like it's basically on the flyway, kind of like a alien type aircraft. As you guys can see, the key kind of mocks the steering wheel in a sense, but I love the way this thing looks. Looks very UFO-like, like I mentioned, alien-like. There's a lock, unlock, and a trunk release. Really nice key to hold in your hands. But looking here at this 12.8 OLED screen here, it does support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but I'm not sure why the CarPlay is not connecting. Give me a few seconds here. I think it's because of my cable. And as you guys can see, it says starting CarPlay here. Hopefully it shows up. But if you guys don't want to use the actual USB port here, you can use wireless. This is the first Mercedes-Benz to basically have a wireless Apple CarPlay. If you guys love that feature, you have to basically go for the S-Class because none of the other models in the Mercedes-Benz lineup offer a wireless Apple CarPlay. And as you guys can see here, going here to the seats, you can adjust the lumbar support, the heating settings here and whatnot. So you can adjust the seats to your liking. Going here to the ambient lighting, there's 64 or not more different colors in this car. As you guys can see, you can do a multicolor and whatnot. Let's go here to green jungle. As you guys can see, it lights up the whole cabin, even in the back, which is really nice as well. And the seat does move forward. We'll talk about that once I get into the actual back seat. I love the high gloss wood trim here. Nice finish here. There's more of that aluminum trim here on the dashboard. There's 4 air vents up here. And like I mentioned, my model does have that Burmester sound system, which sounds really nice. The headliner here is going to be a suede Alcantara. There is LED lights, of course, throughout the cabin here. And I wish Mercedes would have offered a rear view camera mirror. I feel like this car needs that at this price point. There's this frameless mirror here, which looks really nice as well. This is your drive mode selector down here. Once you click that, it says Sport, Sport Plus, Individual. Go back to the left here. There's Comfort, and there's Eco. So there's 5 different drive modes here in the S-Class. Clicking this here, it does show you the top-down 360 view here. Really nice technology, class leading in my opinion. As you guys can see, it's very responsive. It shows you a nice graphic here of the S-Class. Of course, you guys spending over $100,000, this car should basically do super things like this. There's the hazard button down here. You can turn off the screen or have it at a calm setting, but I'm not a big fan here of this touch-sensitive area here for the volume here. I wish Mercedes would have offered maybe like actual knob or something. Behind the screen, there's some storage here. You can probably put your phone to hide it from someone. Nice padded leather here with nice stitching. And to close this, just go like this. And as you guys can see here, it leaves fingerprints. So I have OCD right now. This is kind of like killing me that I just put my fingerprints on this area here, but you can wipe that down constantly if you're planning on driving this car. Most people are going to hire a chauffeur and whatnot. I showed you guys the key fob. It looks very UFO-like. There's 2 cup holders here, and my iPhone 12 Pro Max does fit in the wireless phone charger. Nice area here, just in case you don't want to charge your phone. You can put it right here. Looking at this is a double opening hinge center console. It's very shallow in here. As you guys can see, there's 2 USB ports in there. Closing this back, it's gonna be nice and stitched and padded. Really nice area here to rest your elbows on a long road trip. And I love the pillows in here. Some people are gonna remove them. Me personally, I love it because they're very plush, as you guys can see, and very supportive. And my model does have this large panoramic sunroof here to let light and air into this cabin. If you open it, looking at the glove compartment here, it does offer a lot of storage in there, which is very impressive. And my model also has that air fragrance here, as you guys can see. So this thing will waft a perfume smell, so it will eliminate some of that dirty air that's outside. But overall, super impressed with this interior. Love the ambient lighting, it's crazy. Love the technology. And one thing, my model is missing heads-up display and also the tweeners. So basically the speakers will pop out, but I do have that rear seat entertainment package, but we'll talk about that once I get into the back seat. But overall, like I mentioned, very impressed. But let's get into the back seat of the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. So get into the back seat here, the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. The doors are freaking large on this car, but getting back here, As you guys can see, my model does have this black interior. You can also get different color combinations if you would like. But as you guys can see here, oh God, this is freaking fantastic. I love these pillows here. You can adjust them. But looking down here, Mercedes says you get around 43 inches of legroom here. But shutting the door here, the last S-Class that I showed you guys did not have the rear seat entertainment package. But once you press this button here, this seat will basically move as far up as possible. As you guys can see, it's still going. And it's basically gonna fold down. As you guys see, the headrest is kind of tucking itself away. The seat is still going. So this process does take some time, but once you do that, and keep in mind, I am 5'8". As you guys can see, this thing is moving very slowly, and the seats back here are very plush and very comfortable. And there is an ottoman function. As you guys can see, it's raising. And if you're 6 feet tall, and it has this area here where you can put the bottom of your shoe at. But if you guys are 6 feet tall, I would just go for the Maybach that offers around 8 to 10 more inches of overall length for this vehicle. So if you're 6 feet tall, I would just go for the Maybach because it has more space. The materials back here are going to be nice leather. As you guys can see, very bright ambient lighting compared to the previous S-Class, which had really good lighting as well. But you can see this in broad daylight. There's the air vent here on the side pillar. These are your seating controls. There's 3-level heated and cool seats. You can turn both of them on if you would like, but me personally, I'm just gonna just leave the cool seats on because it's like 100 degrees outside today. And this is for your seating control. You can adjust the headrest here. You can lift the seat up if you would like, and you can also close this ottoman function here. And you can open and close the sunroof and also the shades here. As you guys can see, I can control the shade for the passenger side over there. I can also lift up the back shade to basically give you more privacy and so the haters can't see you. And looking here, guys, you also have your own set of climate controls back here. The seats, like I mentioned, are very plush and very comfortable. I love the diamond quilted design here. Pulling this area down here, my model is missing the tablet here. The dealership has it. Of course, they take it out so no one basically won't steal it and try to use it for something else. But as you guys can see, I do have the rear seat entertainment package, so you can mess with it, and it's very responsive here. It's the latest generation of the MBUX. Going into navigation, as you guys can see, very bright screen. I love the way the screen looks here. The touch response is just super impressive. Mercedes did a really good job here with this updated version of the MBUX. You can say, "Hey Mercedes, can you tell me a joke?" Okay, never mind. She won't tell me a joke, but as you guys can see, you guys get the concept. Very nice infotainment system. But like I mentioned, you guys have that tablet screen. You don't have to basically lift up to basically use this display back here. But open up this, it does reveal a wireless phone charger with additional storage with 2 USB-Cs, and it's also aligned with felt. And there's this pass-through here that you can basically put items in the actual trunk because the seats do not fold down. Very comfortable headrest here. As you guys can see, really nice view out of this large panoramic sunroof. And you also have your own set of lighting back here as well. As you guys can see, it's going to be LED. This is leather stitch grab handle here. But overall, I'm very impressed with this back seat of the S-Class because it does have that rear seat entertainment. It feels very spacious and very comfortable back here. And it also has the Burmester sound system, which sounds incredible. Let's talk about the powertrain specs here for the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. As you guys can see, I have the hood open already. This has Mercedes-Benz 4-liter bi-turbo V8. It is paired with EQ boost. This makes 496 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. It is paired with a in-house design 9-speed automatic transmission. As the S-Class sits here, it weighs around 4,700 pounds. Fuel economy for this V8 is rated at 17 in the city, 25 on the highway, and 20 combined. And Mercedes-Benz says 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds. So starting off in the 2021 Mercedes-Benz S-Class here, my model has that 4-wheel steering. So this car feels really crazy because I can feel what the back wheels are doing, and it feels really funny. I feel like the car is going like this, but honestly, it feels really good. This ride quality here is just super impressive. And you know that you're driving something special because you have the 3-star ornament there on top of the hood. And it does have Mercedes-Benz 4-liter bi-turbo engine. It does have that EQ boost, so basically it eliminates the dry belts. So it basically starts up kind of in electric mode, which is super impressive technology. You can also get a 3-liter inline 6 if you guys don't want this big old V8. This is rated to get 17 in the city, 25 on the highway, and 20 combined. So not bad MPG. But this V8 will be thirsty. I'm getting around 357 miles until empty. So you will constantly be filling this up, especially with the high gas prices nowadays. But just driving this car here is very smooth. I cannot stress that even better. And then with the 4-wheel steering, this car handles really good going around corners. And I just love the way this car drives. This is probably one of my favorite cars that I filmed for 2021. And you want to pass on one, it just gets up and goes like nothing. And I just love that you don't necessarily hear the V8 inside the cabin, but it's really smooth power delivery. And I just can't stress this car enough. I just love everything about the S-Class, the technology, but my model is missing the heads-up display, also with the tweeners here. So basically the speakers will pop out and they would twist, of course. And the ambient lighting in this car is just light years away from the previous generation of S-Class, because Mercedes has made it brighter that you can see it in broad daylight. And at nighttime, I'm pretty sure this car is even more impressive with the ambient lighting here. I do have a really good commanding view of the road. The seats in here, very supportive, very comfortable. And I love that I can basically adjust my headrest here as I'm driving. So if you guys have a chauffeur and they're constantly driving, you know, hours and hours, they can basically relax while you sit in the back seat. And this seat here will move all the way up close to the dash as possible to give you maximum leg room in the back, which I think is really nice. As you guys seen, I showed you guys that. Really nice that you have an ottoman function. So if you guys have a chauffeur and you want them to drive you around, you could definitely press the button on the panel and the seat will extend out to as far as setting. But this car here is just really good. I just love the S-Class. I'm not a big fan of the high gloss wood here on the steering wheel. Me personally, if I would wear gloves if I were to drive someone around, because I feel like my hands would basically slip since this area here is really glossy. But I love the 12.8 OLED screen here. It does support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. When I was showing you guys the inside scene, I think my USB port was acting funny. So as you guys can see now, very large screen here. One of the best screens that I've seen in this segment. And I just love how responsive it is. But yes, super impressed. But once you want to get up and go, this car does it really quietly though. It does it. Honestly, you don't even hear that V8, which is just crazy. It's a V8, you're supposed to hear it, but Mercedes is like, no, you buy this class because you want to be driven around in it, or you want to drive it and put your family here. Me personally, I would consider this a 4-seater because that middle seat does not have a good angle for someone to sit. Because of the large bulge that it has. But me personally, I would just consider this a 4-seater. I wouldn't consider this a family car because I feel like Mercedes just wants you to basically have a chauffeur, or you know, just have you, your wife, and maybe 2 children, not 3 if you guys have a family of 5. But this thing is just really good. Let's talk about the driver's assistance here. This also has lane change assist. So if you're on the highway and you set up the cruise control and you signal left or right, this vehicle will change lanes for you if there is nothing next to you. This also has lane keep assist with forward collision warning with blind spot monitoring. So of course, Mercedes-Benz driver's assistance, which is really good. I showed you guys the driver's assistant in my previous S-Class review, which was probably like a few months ago. And honestly, I was driving around in that car and I can see why you'll want to have a chauffeur. But let's do a run here really quick. Mercedes says 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds. I'm going to put into a sport mode here. They have this button here. I'm going to put it in Sport Plus mode. Foot on the brake and accelerator. Yeah, this car is something serious. And it gets up to speed really quick. And it also has a 9-speed in-house transmission. And the thing feel like it's gonna lift up off its frame. That V8 is just so good once you get it going. And this also has adaptive suspension, so it feels really comfortable in this car. And this car will raise about 3.2 inches if it senses that there's going to be a crash. So basically all that energy can basically hit the rocker panel, which is the strongest part of the vehicle here. So really good technology. I know Audi has something similar, but I think Mercedes probably does a little bit better than Audi does. But okay, you don't see me? What the hell was that? What the hell did he not see me? Welcome to Miami, guys. You see a bunch of crazy stuff out here. But let's do another run just because we can. I'm not gonna brake boost, I'm just gonna floor it from a stop. Ooh. This thing feels like it's gonna basically lift up off his frame, which is really crazy. But I have no problem. This car is just super smooth, super good at what it does. And honestly, it's quiet in here. I don't hear no outside noise. I'm pretty sure if you guys were just driving in the city, you wouldn't hear nothing. It's really muted in this car. And my model also has this air fragrance, so basically it will waft like a perfume throughout the cabin. So if you're driving past like a dump, which I'm driving past right now, you won't smell none of that nasty outside air because it's gonna basically waft that perfume smell throughout the cabin. So it's always gonna smell really nice and really expensive in this car. But just driving here, the steering feel very playful. Like I mentioned, we have about 10 degrees of turning, which I think is really good because if you're trying to do a 3-point turn, you can just do it without basically backing up. I haven't tested it out yet, but I'm gonna test it out just to see if I have to reverse it now. So I'm gonna get to this intersection here and just basically try to do a 3-point turn to see if I don't have to touch the grass and whatnot. And then when I want to do it, everybody wants to come. I'm going to the dump. They're like, wait, this car's going to the dump? Yes, I am. So we're going to test out the, what you looking at? We're going to test out the 4-corner suspension here. Oh, no. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, we messed up. Okay, this is bloopers. I messed up.
It feels so good when you were turning.
Yeah, and it feels so weird. Let me show there's nothing coming. All right, guys, this is bloopers. I'm keeping this in the video. This guy messed me up. Okay, so I put it back into drive here. And as you guys can see here, this area is really wide here. So I'm gonna basically try to not go all the way. Ah, look at that. Really effortlessly. I could just do a whole circle, literally, with no problem. This is so crazy. And if you guys heard someone in the back, that's Lewis says it feels really weird. It feels weird in this car that the rear tires are able to do that. But once you put your foot to the floor, this V gets up to speed. Really good passing power. But if you guys are looking for something luxurious and you want to say that you made it in life, the Mercedes-Benz S-Class is the car to go for. Starting price here for the Mercedes-Benz S-Class is at $116,300 with the options and accessories, including destination. The Mercedes-Benz S-Class stickers for $134,060. Hope you guys have enjoyed this review here. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Drive1Reviews and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next review.